Hey, how's it going? Anyway, I just got done watching Back in Action on Netflix, and I put this on my reminder list to watch it. I haven't seen Jamie Foxx in the movie since I watched the last movie he put out on Netflix. I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago, but and then Jamie Foxx has been sick for a little bit. He was in the hospital, and I guess he's doing okay. I was a little worried, but I think he's doing fine now. And also Cameron Diaz, man. First time I seen Cameron Diaz was in Mask with Jim Carrey, and she was a doll baby, man. And I remember taking my little girl to go see The Mask, and that's before she had been taken away to go to Tennessee. Man, we used to go see a movie all the time, and that's the first time I seen Cameron Diaz because she was in that movie called The Mask. And she hadn't been acting in a while because I think she's got a family. She wants to raise her kids, but she's her and Jamie Foxx teamed up for this Netflix thing, and I have to admit, I sat down and watched it. Now, when I sat down and watched something, I actually, I'm like, man, I hope this is good because a lot of times when I sit down, I'm worried that I'm not going to stay into it. You know what I mean? I'm worried that I'm not going to. I'm just take deep breaths and I'm just going to like try to hurry up along the thing. But I have to admit, uh, this one kept me engaged. It kept me engaged all the way. And this is, to be honest with you, I didn't know what to expect. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't know what to expect. But the last time I seen Jamie Foxx in a movie, I liked the movie. And this one is they have two kids, a minivan, a secret past as spies. Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz star as ex-CIA operatives thrust back into the world of espionage, and it is very entertaining. And you know what gets me? Seth. Uh, okay, it's directed by Seth Gordon, and uh, it has sequence of violence and action, some suggestive reference and strong language, and brief teen partying. This is a very clean movie. Yeah, there was no ridiculous lovemaking. There was no. There was. I I gotta give Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz credit. They had uh, the romantic uh, attraction there, as far as being a loving couple and falling in love and stuff. But they didn't go overboard on that. They stuck true to the story. That's really what I like about this. This is my type of movie, man. It's clean. It's not a lot. It didn't have anything shoot in there. It didn't have no checking of the boxes. This did not have any box checks at all. This was just a good, fun, entertaining, keep you engaged, keeps you into the. It had Glenn Close in there. Glenn Close was in there. Everybody in there was good. Action scenes was good. The fighting scenes was real good. I mean, I enjoyed this movie. This is a very good movie, man. Very good movie. Um, it's good to see. It's hey, I gotta give Jamie Foxx credit, man. He 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 does pretty good, man. The guy's impressive, man. I mean, he's impressive, man. And Cameron Diaz, man, it's good to see her back. It's good to see her back. I'll be honest with you, man. I was impressed with this movie. I just literally got done with it, and it's how long is this movie anyway? It's 1 hour and 54 minutes, so it's a little under 2 hours. So, but the kids was good in there. There was some chuckling moments. There was some parts in there I laughed. I thought it was funny. They did stuff in here. It was just this. The whole family can actually sit down and watch this movie. It's kind of weird because they it didn't like look like they hardly any killed anybody. It looked like they knocked people out more than they did killing anybody. I think the only part that might have looked like somebody died was in the airplane. sequence. But that airplane sequence was pretty good in the beginning of it. Another thing I like about this movie, it didn't it went right straight to the point. It set up the story. They let you know what was going on, and then it went 15 years later because they started liking each other, and then they end up. Cameron Diaz gets pregnant, and then they go on this mission. The mission goes doesn't go like as planned, and then they look like they got killed in the airplane crash. But they took this little box that has a special key that can do a lot of stuff to the world. Uh, Not just the whole world, but just like certain parts of the world it had, and so they hid it. So so everybody thought they were dead in that plane crash, but then they they went off the grid, and then they end up having two kids and living like American family and stuff. And then Glenn Close played the mom living in Britain. She was a Briton. She lived in Great Britain, and it was she was like had this military background. So when they had to go to England, uh, you know, uh, the kids wanted to give Glenn Close a hug, and Glenn Close like, we're British, we don't hug, because I guess people in Britain, they don't get into hugging. And it's just kind of funny because I remember I watched another movie from it was in Great Britain. They always like, you Americans like to hug, we don't hug, because Americans kind of hug each other, but people from Britain, they don't really, they're not too into hugging. That's how I put it in here. But that's not the second time I heard that. But the movie had some funny moments. It did a really, really good job. You know, I like to tell you guys about movies that I watch, but I like to explain it to you my way. And when I can sit down and I can actually sit down and watch a movie and not be squirmish in my chair or get restless, then I know they did a good job. Because I ain't gonna lie, I thought I was gonna get squirmish in there. I thought I was gonna get, I really thought I was gonna be restless. I thought I was gonna sit in the chair and be like, oh, when you get to the point. And there's movies that I end up liking, but I didn't like because it just would not set things up right away. And once it did get going, I'm like, oh, I really like this movie now, but this movie didn't do that. This movie just flat out just got straight to the point. It had some funny, it had a little humor in there. It had some it's a good movie. I'm impressed. Netflix did a good job. See, this is why it's hard to get rid of Netflix, because Netflix has a knack of sliding some stuff in there. They put a lot of stuff on their site that's not that good, and then they sprinkle in a whole bunch of good stuff. And this is the good stuff. And it's like we got, I'm looking forward to the new season of Wednesday. That's coming out this year. I'm also looking forward to the last season of Stranger Things. So I got Netflix knows how to do, now do they make top quality stuff like Max? No, but they can make some top quality stuff. And this is one of them. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie, guys. I just literally got done, and I gotta give Jamie Foxx credit, man. And I'm glad that Jamie Foxx is doing better, because I know for a while everybody's wondering what was wrong with him. He was sick, and then Cameron Diaz, she hadn't been doing anything for a while because she just probably want to take care of her, kids in real life. But it's just a couple of CIA, agents that whatever they was doing in their earlier life, the mission went bad, and it looked like they got killed in the plane crash. So they lived off the grid, and so the CIA just took it as if they were like they died in the plane crash. So when they lived this, they kind of lived a double life because they raised these kids, and the kids always thought there was something off about their parents and stuff. And it was kind of funny how the kids was looking at them like, "There's just something you ain't telling us." It was really, really good. The kids did a good job in there too, because teenage kids today, man, they kind of like, man, they did a good job with the teenage kids too, like how teenage kids look at people older, and how people that are older, how they used to be young at one time, but how they can't seem to connect when you get older, you can't seem to connect with the young crowd because you're just in a different time. And then there was parts where they was they were in this bedroom and the kids was downstairs and they were making all this noise and the kids was like, "Ooh, gross," because they think they were having sex, but the mom and dad was up. Jamie and Cameron Diaz was up there boxing each other and doing all these mixed martial arts moves, and they was working out that way, and it was so funny. There was no bedroom scenes, there was no shower scenes, none of that. I really give Jamie Foxx, Cameron Diaz, my hats off to him for making this a very clean, just they didn't throw any of that stuff in there that that is really a private type of life. Sometimes I just think sometimes when they show all that, I'm like, man, that's you know obviously we know you guys do it, and obviously you guys are married, and obviously you got a couple of kids in the house. I mean, we know that you guys sleeping in the same bed. You don't have to go through all that slogging each other in the shower and in the bed and all that kind of stuff. Movies always seem to want to throw that in there. It's okay sometimes, but sometimes you don't have to do that. We know that goes on. You're married. You got 2 kids. We know you guys like to once in a while bone each other, but you don't have to put it in the movie all the time. This had none of that. It just had insinuations of stuff. They did it in a really smooth and clean way. So yeah, that's my little. Just got done watching this, back in action, and yeah, it's very good. So anyway, you guys, God bless, and have a good evening because it's late. We'll see you.